Welcome back to the Tied Up Pool podcast, and today we have a bit of a different podcast. Today we're going to be doing movie reviews, so there's going to be spoilers, so just to go ahead and let everyone know, there's spoilers, and today we're going to be talking about the recent movie 1917.
Yes. So we decided since our last podcast or one of our recent ones, I'm not really keeping track. I can't remember. We talked about entertainment, and one of those sections of entertainment was movies. We thought we'd start going into individual movies, kind of doing little movie review podcasts. We might do the same with other things like musicians or video games. Just I don't know, just go into little individual topics. But yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
doing 1917 today. So shall we dive into our first talking point, which is the one shot thing and how they did it?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys don't know, 1917, it's mostly famous because not only is it just a great movie, but they did this tactic where they would do kind of like 10-minute one shot camera scenes, but then they'd stitch them together to make it look like one long continuous shot. So the entire movie looks like they never stopped recording, but
No
it's just the magic of
cutscenes.
editing. Yeah, no cutscenes. That's what it seems like, but actually they do a bunch of tactics. If you know about videography and filmmaking, they'll pan the camera past like a tree and do like a layer mask thing, and just it's a bunch of CGI, and it's great. What do you
It
think
was
about
very
it?
well done. I think
Yeah,
especially for a war movie. I think we should maybe go
definitely.
over the summary of the movie for people
Yes,
who
definitely.
would like to maybe even watch this movie because I would definitely recommend it. It's a recent movie, it's not an old movie. It came out last year. So 1917 is in World War One. I know that there are a lot of World War Two movies, so I'm really
Exactly, yeah.
glad that they made World War One a World War One movie. But pretty much, these two guys get called up by the general, and the general says, you have to deliver this message, which is calling off another group that is like miles away from them. They're going to attack the Germans, but what they don't know is that it's pretty much just like a setup. The Germans are there, they're waiting for them, and it would just be a massacre. So what they have to do is the two men have to go ahead and deliver this message to go ahead and call off the attack. And
Yeah.
that's the whole story.
So I read this in an article from the New Yorker. Okay, this isn't about the one shot thing, but it's just something I thought I mentioned that we can dive into later.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's this article in the New Yorker. I can't remember the name of the author, but he talked about. Have you ever seen this movie, Saving Private Ryan?
I have seen clips of it. I've never seen it before. But
Okay, so
I've
it's a really great
definitely seen
movie.
clips of it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's World War II, but I thought it's kind of cool because they're like reverse movies. So in Saving Private Ryan, it's like this whole group of guys in the army trying to save one man, but in 1917, it's two guys trying to save thousands of men, or
Yes.
just 1,600 men or something like that. So I thought it was cool
Mm-hmm.
that it's kind of like reverse. Though
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan is like World War II, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. It's really cool. I think that it if you watch the two movies, they are easily the best like war movies I've ever seen in my
Oh yeah.
entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I feel like
definitely
they
recommend Saving Private
really give
Ryan.
the accurate feeling of what it was like.
Yeah, that movie, I highly recommend it. I think it's pretty similar to 1917 as in just like the way it feels. It wasn't one shot kind of look, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely worth watching. But yeah, the whole one shot thing, I thought it was genius. It was
Yeah.
absolutely genius, and like you said, for a war movie, it was perfect. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
that
It was
that
perfect.
it really like pushed you into the experience. It's not I
Yeah.
didn't feel like I was in a war, but it made me
No.
feel more connected to the characters and everything that was going on because
Mm-hmm.
you're with them in like real time pretty much. And I think that's how movies should be shot, not necessarily one long shot, but in real time,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
if a movie's an hour and a half long, what if the entire timeline of the movie was an hour and a half? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
I feel like it
that was
just
awesome.
gives the realism of it, like
Yeah.
how exact on and how just like exact they wanted to make the film.
Yeah, and another thing about the one shot, the actors have to be crazy good
Oh,
because most of the time it's editing making them
yeah.
look better, but these guys were like intense. They were
Oh,
really
yeah.
great.
And I
And
mean,
then,
so as well as the cameraman and
oh
everyone
my God.
shooting, they had to use like motorcycles, jeeps, and just everything. Since it was so real, they had to actually like run 100 yards or something, not
That
just on a treadmill and green screen and everything.
exactly, yeah. That was so I think Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, won. Did he win an Academy Award for
I
that?
think I don't know. It won best,
Yes.
yeah, best
Here,
picture or
I
whatever.
have the awards. No, no,
Okay.
Parasite won
No,
Best
oh, that was
Picture.
Parasite. Okay.
But the Academy Awards it got were Best Visual Effects, Best Cinematography. So Roger Deakins got that. He deserved that,
Oh, they
definitely.
totally deserve it. There's
Yeah.
never been a movie like that. And there's been very
I
few
mean,
one-shot movies.
very few, but I think it was Alfred Hitchcock that was kind of like created the idea
Yeah.
and like
But
stitched them
even like
together.
it wasn't even a war, like those weren't like war movies or
Yeah,
anything.
but that I think all that kind of like comes from Alfred Hitchcock. That's crazy. But I
Yeah.
watched a whole bunch of videos about how Hitchcock's like just everything is I don't know, it's all connected. He's so many tactics that are used today, not just in like filmmaking, like going to the movies and watching a film, but you see it on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
YouTubers be using these tactics. But it
It's
also got
true.
Academy Award for best sound mixing. What else? Jeez, there's so many, but yeah, that I think it only got that for the Academy Awards at least. It got some Golden Globes, I think.
Did you see that they built mini models of the set?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
that's crazy. That's what I thought was really cool how they timed everything. That they
the set
actually
design.
built mini sets to like represent like how much time do we have to create this one shot, like what we need right here.
Yeah, that was yeah, that the little models and everything, especially of the trenches, because they had to
Yeah.
build miles and miles of
It
trenches.
was
I
so
think that
well done.
that's a lot of work. And the bombs, obviously they're fake, but at least I think so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they're fake, but I mean the explosions are real, but like, you know what I mean, like the
Yeah,
dust
yeah.
flying everywhere. Not an actual bomb, but
No, that
but
would not be good.
yeah, that would be horrible, but th they had they only had a certain amount of tries, so when they were filming that one scene, that was it. They had to pull it
Mhm.
off is with those effects and stuff, so
Yes.
that's crazy. Okay. So, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
Favorite
Because I know
scenes.
mine.
I think it was when they got to the German right after when like I remember the general was like once you pass this place like you could die. But then they made it to the German trench and like they thought I don't know like there could be Germans here, but then they went into the bunkers and then you actually saw like wow, this is what like men had to live through the war. Like there's bunk beds and like rats were there. It was not
Oh, the freaking
nice.
rats.
Yeah, but
They suck.
yeah. But I
Those
also think when the tripwire set off that scene and then he saved Schofield and then they just ran out of the trench. That was a really good scene.
that was great. Honestly, for a second there, I thought I had a favorite scene in the movie, but now that I think about it, there are just so many amazing ones. I think I
Mhm.
have like a top three list, in no specific order. I loved it when Schofield met that French woman in
Oh,
that
yeah.
town
Mhm.
with the baby. That was crazy.
And
I
then
love
in
that
the end, you
scene.
found out that he has kids and a wife, because you looked at the pictures at the
Who-
very last scene.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought
Schofield,
that was just his family. I can't remember.
yeah, I don't know if that was
I thought
I thought
I
it
thought
was
that
his
was
children and
I
his
thought he
wife
was
or
looking
something.
No, I thought he was looking at the picture of Blake's family.
Oh, I don't know. There were
I can't
multiple.
remember. It's been
I
a
don't
while.
know. I
You
thought it
watched it
was his
recently. I watched it
wife and
in
kids.
December or January or something, but
Yeah, it was a while
um
for you.
I can't remember. But so yeah, when he met that French woman with the baby, that was like the only part of the movie where you felt at peace. Like, okay, nothing
Yeah,
bad is
only
gonna happen.
peaceful part,
You
really.
know, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
because the entire time you feel,
Yeah.
in other war movies, you're like rooting for the characters, and well, you root for them obviously in this movie. But I mean, you feel like nothing's gonna happen at this point in time because they're just talking and they're having a good time.
Yeah.
But throughout this entire movie, you're at this constant state of fear, like, oh my god, something bad's gonna happen. Like
Yes.
there's a sniper watching him. Anything's gonna happen. You remember when he was crossing the bridge and he was getting sniped at?
Yep, that was
He
I thought like the
was climbing
worst
the
that
bridge.
the worst that could happen is that he falls into the river and then a gunshot and then
Yeah,
there's a
it
sniper.
jump scared me. I remember,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, God, what's another one of my favorite scenes? I can't remember, but I, that just the entire time he was in that town
Mhm.
during nighttime, that was crazy. And I think I can't remember the right when he was leaving from getting shot at, he was climbing over dead bodies like in this
Oh, yeah.
river, and then he gets into the forest, and then there's that guy singing
Oh,
that
yeah, it's
song
the
for White
whole troop
Stranger.
waiting
The
and they're
all of
having
them
like the
just
final like
they're about to
singing.
go.
Mhm.
Yeah, right when he like sits down and he just listens, and all of them are just sitting there listening to that guy singing. That was
Yep.
definitely one of my favorite scenes. It felt
Yeah, I was just going to bring that scene up.
actually, you know what? That was another moment of peace, kind of.
Mhm. Well, and
But
then it just gave some like foreshadowing like this is like the last peaceful moment these guys will have cuz they
yeah,
were getting
unless he
called
stops
up.
it.
Yeah. Mm,
Oh yeah, yeah. That was.
mm.
Mm. But when he was about to get into the forest and he was climbing over the dead bodies in the river, that felt so horrible. That was definitely
Yeah.
it. Would I don't want to say it was like one of my favorite scenes because that's just such a horrible moment, but it was
Mhm.
so beautiful. That's the correct word. It was sad, not beautiful. Sad. It was sad. I'm choosing the complete wrong words here. No, he's climbing over these poor dead people, and you just your heart breaks because you're like, this is so he's just a guy in a war. It's not like he wanted to go to war or something. Maybe I guess. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he's running through the trenches trying to stop the attack, and then
That was
he's just like, screw
crazy.
this, I'm getting out of the trenches, and he climbs up and he runs through the grass with and
Crazy.
people are starting to run.
Like the first wave already went before anything.
Yeah.
Like before, which I really like that. They didn't have that happy like he saved everyone. Like yes, people like it acted so real. The first
It
wave already went. Like he kind of
it
just yeah, it just
it felt
happened.
yeah, he was running for his life. And not only was he running for his life, he was running for like 1,600 people's
Yep.
lives. He was trying to save everyone. I love that scene. And
Yeah.
he's running, and I watched a bunch of like behind the scenes videos, and he's running through the field, and he bumps into a bunch of guys and he falls down and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Mhm. And
That
the
wasn't meant to
explosions
happen.
everywhere.
Yeah, but him running into those guys and falling down, that wasn't meant to happen. That was unscripted. It just he couldn't stop running. They
Yeah.
couldn't make a cut because those explosions were like a one-time thing. They had to do it.
Mhm.
And him running and bumping into those people, it was the fact that it was not intended to happen made it just feel even
Yeah,
crazier.
it
So,
and another point of just the realism, like that would definitely happen. Thousands
yeah.
of men just right in that crowded area and you running, like of course you would definitely trip over something.
Of course you'd bump into someone, but
Yeah.
I just thought just those unscripted moments, I
Mhm.
love those. But like they
Yeah.
can't stop recording, so it just makes it even better.
Oh yeah, I
um
can agree with that.
yeah. And okay, so what's another talking point here? Casting. Who do you think the actors were like fit for this movie? I feel like everybody was fit except when I saw Benedict Cumberbatch
I
at
was
the end,
like, "Wait,
it
is
didn't
that
feel right.
Benedict Cumberbatch?" And I was
I
like,
was like, what is he
"Whoa."
doing here? I
I
didn't
think
expect him.
it's just that I know him from so many other movies. It just feels weird. Like I can picture him as Doctor Strange. Like it's
That's
just
yeah.
weird. It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
But I
so like
think everyone else was phenomenal.
definitely everybody fit. But here's what I
Oh,
think.
for
Here's my
sure.
theory.
Ooh, what's your theory?
Towards the end, when he gets to that room full of generals and stuff, and he's trying to stop them from running, he we just meet all these new characters who are like these famous actors. All I can recall is Benedict Cumberbatch, but I'm pretty sure there were like a couple other like people in there that are already pretty famous actors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't feel right. But here's the thing: the director Sam Mendes, he talked about how the two main characters, he wanted to cast a bunch of like unknowns. That's what he called them, because we don't know them yet. You know, they're not very famous
Yeah.
actors. And I thought that was better, to put people we don't recognize, we've never seen before,
Yeah.
into this movie, because it again makes it feel more real, because it's not like you're gonna go into World War One or watch a World War One movie and you're gonna be like, oh, like, I don't know, it just feels wrong to
Mm-hmm.
put
So
people
kind
who
of
are
what I
already
was
so
saying,
famous.
like you think of like with Benedict Cumberbatch, it's like, oh, he was in Doctor Strange, or he was like all of these other
Exactly.
characters, so it takes
And
away from the actual movie
yeah, it messes
or the
with your
scene.
mind.
Yeah.
But like, if you were to look at a bunch of World War One veterans, you're not gonna find like Benedict Cumberbatch in there or something. You're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna want to make the people unknown.
Yeah.
You know, I that makes it feel more real, and
Oh
I
yeah.
love that. Who were the actors? The two main guys. There was
George
Dean
McKay,
George Mackay and Dean
or
Charles
yeah, McKay.
Chapman. Mackay. I
Yes.
don't know how you say his
I don't.
last name. It's Mackay.
Yeah.
I only say Mackay because I heard him say it in like an interview.
Uh-huh. But
But
I thought George did an amazing job, and so did Dean. The
dude,
personalities nailed.
I didn't expect Dean Charles Chapman, like his character. I didn't expect him to die so early. I was so disappointed, but I was like, you know what? That's war.
Yeah.
You know?
It was really
So,
unexpected too. It wasn't like a fighting scene where you're like, "Oh, someone could die right here." It was that scene, which wasn't my favorite scene. I've told you why I really did not like it.
because of the plane, it
Yeah,
just felt
the
weird.
plane felt very off. They could have done like a German soldier could have been camping out there and something could have happened.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like that scene, but I understand the plane felt a little
Yeah,
bit
it
weird.
just felt really off for
Visual
me.
visual effect wise, it felt off. But I mean, not for the most part. I think it was okay. But
Hmm.
yeah. So what's the name of the character? It's Blake. Um,
And Schofield, William
Blake and
Schofield, yeah.
Schofield. Yeah. But Blake dying so early, that was so unexpected. I feel like in another war movie, they would have not have killed him, because they're
Or
like,
they
oh,
would
it's a
have waited
movie.
for the end.
Yeah. So just him dying so early, of course, added to the realism, made it feel more real, but it was just unexpected, you know? And
Yeah.
I think the only reason we found it unexpected was because of how other movies are made.
Oh,
But
yeah, for
that's,
sure.
I guess that's more like real life, you know, this guy dying off so early. So
Yeah.
I I thought it was going to be the two of them throughout the whole movie, cuz it's kind of advertised like that, but no, it was just Schofield the whole time, which I wasn't expecting, and that made the experience even more like scary,
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, okay, well, there's only one guy trying to save 16,000, or not 16,000, like 1,600. I can't remember the amount of
Yeah,
guys.
1600, I think
Um,
it's the right
but,
one.
but it was like the lives of all these men are rested upon this one guy's shoulders. You know, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
So,
And
um,
then can I add on to, we've been
yeah,
talking a lot with realism, and I just wanted to say to everyone that this whole entire movie wasn't based off a true story, but it was inspired by true events that actually did happen in World War One, because they actually had their grandfather, the director's grandfather, told the director stories about like his time in World War One, because he fought in it. So the events that you saw, like the trenches and all of that, the set, even like what it was like back then, like that was definitely, of course, all.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just based off a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Based off, not exactly, but
Yeah.
based off of it. You know, he had to go send a message to stop an attack. So I think, yeah, that I think more movies, if you're gonna make a war movie, I feel like it should be based off of a true story. Because luckily we still have a lot of these veterans. I don't know about World War One, but maybe World War Two, definitely not World War
Not
One.
that much from World
Uh,
War Two anymore.
Yeah, World War II, we're starting to lose those veterans. Um, uh, but yeah, I think it's important to tell their stories rather than ones you just come up with because that's just stupid. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I just think don't make up war stories.
Did you
I
see
think
Hacksaw Ridge?
I did. I love that movie.
Okay,
That was
I like that one.
genius. Yeah.
But
Was that based off of a true
that
story?
wasn't based off a true story though. That was just a
Yeah, it
World War.
was.
It was? Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes,
Didn't they
it
put
was.
like a video of
Yeah, it was a
the
real
actual guy?
person who actually did all that stuff. Never mind.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think that's what makes these movies so much better. Especially if it's just, I don't know, just
Yeah, no, it
tell
does
real
feel better
stories.
when it's real instead of
Yeah.
just a story.
Yeah.
Because then
Because I
it's
feel
just
like
like, it's
hmm
just it's not actually what happened.
yeah. I also hate it when they exaggerate events. Like I saw, okay, let me explain this. I saw this movie. I didn't watch the whole movie because I thought it was just stupid. But there's this movie called Midway.
I've
Um,
heard of it. Yeah, the
like the
Battle of
Battle of
Mid.
Midway. But
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, it was actually Pearl Harbor. Wait a minute. Okay, wait, never mind. Sorry. But they're showing the attacks on Pearl Harbor, and it seems real, but the acting and just everything seemed exaggerated. It didn't feel real.
Yeah,
And just like I don't know, don't watch that movie because I mean, watch the movie if you want, obviously, but you can tell what I'm talking about here. I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth, but I can't explain how. I don't know. This movie was just made perfectly. I think
it was.
it truly was a perfect movie in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I loved it. One of my favorite movies from 2019, easily.
Oh yeah, it would definitely get on my top movie list, especially because definitely war movies aren't something that I'm like really into or like that. I'm
Yeah,
like, like it's not something where,
I mean,
yeah.
the only reason I like war movies is because it it's real, for the you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. When they base it off a true story and, and stuff like that, I just like war movies because it's just a deep story and it still happens today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
War movies, war TV shows, just all that. I only watch them and I really like them because I want to feel that like human connection. It really just shows humanity at its worst, but also at its best. That's why I
Yeah.
think it yeah.
For sure.
And yeah, it's a nice genre, sad stories, but nice genre because it just shows humanity off perfectly.
Yeah,
Um,
I can
in
agree with that.
conclusion, that is my conclusion about war movies. Um, but yeah, is there anything else to talk about with this?
I think that pretty much wraps up the sum of the whole entire movie and like the really main key points because it's a really phenomenal movie. And even if you are not into war movies, it's a good story. It's not all war and guns and stuff, which like
it it's
yes,
story.
yeah, it's really focuses on the story than like the or like the act. I don't know how
I
to
know what you
word
mean.
it,
It's not
but
it's not an action movie.
yeah, it's not a yeah. That's
good
what
storytelling.
yeah, that's what I needed to say. So if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
into really good stories, I recommend 19. I just
Definitely.
recommend it. Just
It
watch
was a
it.
great movie. It's amazing storytelling. It was just pulled off perfectly.
Yeah.
Tis my conclusion. But
Yes.
yeah, so we're probably gonna come out with little movie reviews like this for a while. It'll be fun. I think it's great. I hope you enjoyed our our little movie review coming from beginner filmmakers or yeah, I don't know. At least me. I don't know if you're gonna go into filmmaking, but I would definitely love to. So
Yeah.
this was a blast. I love this. I hope I hope we do more of these. I'm really looking forward to doing more. So
Yeah. Anyways, you can also go ahead and add us or comment any movies that you really
yes,
have enjoyed, and we can go ahead and definitely talk about them in our
we can
podcasts
talk
as
about
well.
them. We could watch them. You know what I mean, and then talk
Mm-hmm.
about them, especially if they're movies we haven't seen. Just drop
Oh yeah,
recommendations.
drop
Let
the
us know if you agreed or
recommendations.
disagreed with anything we said.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if you have anything to add about any of the things we talked about, yeah, drop a comment below.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. Trying to
This
get
might
this
be going up.
off
Yeah, we're
in
trying to
different
upload to
platforms.
new platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, maybe SoundCloud. I don't know. We're working
Oh
on that
yeah,
right now.
for sure.
But
All
yeah.
right. Well, anyways, make sure to go ahead and follow us both on our social medias, which are linked in the description down below. We'll have new podcasts coming out every Tuesday and Friday from now on. And like we said, we are trying to get this on different platforms. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.